Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Erin. Today I have my first quarter 2018 roundup on my Boxy Charm. So we are going to be going through all the products that I received in my Boxy Charm in January, February, and March of 2018, and I'm going to be going over what I thought of them, how much I've actually been using them. Some are hits, some are misses. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first item that we received in January is from Dr. Brandt, and this is the Pores No More Luminizer Primer, and I have been using this quite a bit. When I first used it, I almost felt like the sparkles in it because there is like micro fine glitter in this, and so I think it's just their Pores No More regular primer, but they added sparkle. And so the first time I used this, I felt like the glitters were kind of like standing up on my skin. Going back, I think that might have been the Coty Airspun powder, because if you use the Airspun powder too much with your like a damp beauty blender, it starts to pill a little bit in there. So I think that's what that was. But this is just a translucent primer that has a little bit, hi Chihuahua, that has a little bit of sparkle in it. Like I said, it is very micro fine glitters, and so it just adds a nice little glimmer to the face. I've really been enjoying this. My makeup sets down very nicely on top of it, just like the regular Dr. Brant Pores No More primer. I'm super excited about having this because I do like products from Dr. Brandt, and so I have been using that quite often. Next item is the Glam Metals palette from Crown. I ended up doing that really pretty like blue eye with this. I really have not been reaching for this a whole lot because these colors are not necessarily what I want to be my pop of shimmer on my eyes. Now they do have a matte black in here, which is nice for darkening up any looks, but this I think is more geared to people that are really doing those dark, smoky, vampy looks all the time, and that's just not what I usually wear day to day to work. But I mean, the shadows are very nice and glittery, like a lot of these. They're soft, but they're kind of crumbly, and so you do have to look out for some fallout. But I mean, the pigmentation is beautiful. So if these colors are up your alley, I mean, the pigmentation is just gorgeous. So, but I don't reach for it because it's not necessarily the colors that I usually gravitate towards. But I mean, the palette's cute. It has a guitar mirror on it. It's a very cute palette. The shadows are nice, but I'm not using it a whole lot. Next, we ended up getting a face palette from Pur, and this is their Bronze and Brighten palette. And what was, you know, looks like ice cream, but this is an all shimmer satin, it's shiny face palette. And look at that blush. That blush is insane. So the powders are very nice and soft, borderline crumbly, and for an oily skin type, those are our shades. For an oily skin type, having shimmer as a bronzer is not necessarily something that I go for. Not only that, that bronzer is super pigmented and super deep. Same thing with the blush, super pigmented, super deep. So I have not really been reaching for this because, again, I don't like putting shimmer on my cheeks with my oily skin. But I did, for the purpose of this video, I pulled a lot of the products out and put them in little bins up on my desk, so I would actually be reaching for them. And I did use this blush one day, and it was a little bit too bright for me. I've been using the highlighter, and it's okay. I did not use the bronzer again as a bronzer because the last time I used it, it had a hard time kind of blending out. But what I did use is I used these as an eye palette. And I ended up taking the bronzer shade into the crease a little bit after I laid down a matte crease color, and then I like blended that out nice and smoky, and then I went in with the highlighting shade and put that all over my lid. Now that was pretty. It was very pretty, but do I think I'm going to keep this palette just to use those couple shades as eyeshadows? Probably not. I think this one's going to be leaving my collection just because I'm getting no use out of it. I have other eyeshadows and highlighters that look like the highlighter in here that I wouldn't necessarily just keep it for that. So unfortunately, I do think that this palette is going to be leaving my collection. Next, we have the Brow Power Universal Brow Pencil from IT Cosmetics. And it does have that thicker point to it, which I enjoy. You know, the premise behind this one is that you can push harder and it's a deeper color, or you can push lighter and you can get a lighter color out of it. That's what makes it universal. I really do enjoy this eyebrow pencil. I have been reaching for it a whole lot. What kind of bothered me was the spoolie broke off of it. So, like, completely broke the plastic. So since I use my spoolies to not only comb through the product in my brows, but after I put my eyebrow gel on, I go back in with a spoolie and do that. So a lot of product gets caked up on your spoolies. So I have a towel that I always keep on my desk, a little hand towel that I use just for my makeup because they are stained up to all get up. But I will wipe my spoolies off on this towel. Well, I was just wiping the spoolie off and the whole plastic part here just cracked and the spoolie fell out. So I do have to go back in with my just regular Sigma spoolie that I have. I do use this one and whenever I use this product. But that was a little bit disappointing for the price of this product to have the spoolie just come out on it. But overall, I really do enjoy this pencil. Now I think this pencil retails for like $21. Would I go out and buy this pencil again for $21? Probably not. I have a lot of drugstore pencils that I really, really do enjoy, and I did a video on the Battle of the Brow Pencils drugstore edition. So those are a lot, I wouldn't say better, but they're comparable. So while I really have enjoyed using this, and somebody was saying that there wasn't a lot of product in here, but I mean, I have been using this a lot. And I mean, I don't want to twist it up all the way, but there's still a lot of product in here. So I'm not disappointed at all by the amount of product in here. I think that the amount of product is right on par with the high-end price of this compared to other high-end brow pencils. But if you're looking for a universal kind of, and it's universal, if you have black hair, this won't work on you. This is like my hair, a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit darker, but not much outside of the realm of my hair. But overall, really enjoyed getting it, really enjoyed using it. The last item in my January box was this liquid lipstick from Girlactick Beauty, and this is a matte lip paint in this like beautiful terracotta color. And I actually, again, I put all these products up on my desk to remind me to use them because I wasn't necessarily reaching for this one because it is a deeper shade. That's our color right there. I mean, a beautiful rose terracotta. My issue with this, and I actually wore this last week to remind myself of what I thought of this product, and it kind of reminded me why I have not been reaching for it. So it's beautiful. The color is beautiful. It goes on really beautifully. It's not patchy. You know, one swipe this way, one swipe this way, you have good pigmented lip color. But it dries down matte. And then it starts getting that inner rim and it starts flaking. And that to me is not okay. I talk a lot for a living, and so I can't have a lip product that starts to flake, that starts to bunch up. Once it starts to flake, it will flake off on your teeth. And so this is just going to have to be a pass for me. The formula is just not what I'm looking for in a liquid lipstick. When you go ahead and you do reapply, it just cakes on more and it flakes more and dry, yeah. Not my favorite formula for liquid lipsticks. So I said this in my last video, but I'm filming all of this on the same day. I just actually changed my shirt for you guys to make you believe that I'm not filming this all at once because I don't have time to film during the week. But one of our neighbors is out shooting their guns on their gun range that they have on their property. I live out in the country. If you live out in the country and you have enough acreage and you do it safely, you are allowed to shoot your guns on your property. So if you hear popping in the background, that is what it is all about. Whew. Some things you learn living out in the country, but we are going to move on to February. And in February, we ended up getting, that's when they did the festival box. And so we ended up, I'm gonna blind you guys. we ended up getting this holographic highlighting palette from Naked Cosmetics. It had our 6 highlighting shades in it. I've used this a little bit, but again, I'm not gonna be using the green and the blue highlighters because I don't go to festivals. This is not something that is up my alley to use these shades. Now they are beautiful, they are pigmented, they're a little bit chalky, and so they can look a little bit chalky on the skin, but really I've been using this kind of iridescent one over here and then the pinky one over here. I tried these as eyeshadows as well, and I enjoyed them that way, but that is the top row swatched. So it's not a bad product. I think the like retail price of this palette was crazy. I think it was like upwards of $30-something for this palette. Now, my suggestion in that other video was go ahead and just save up the extra $10 and get yourself an Anastasia highlighting palette where you know the powders are gonna be amazing and you know the colors are gonna be more suited for what your skin tone is, because Anastasia has a couple different highlighting palettes that you can choose from. So if you are into the crazy, loud, colorful festival makeup, this might be right up your alley. To me, it is not up my alley. I think this I might pass along to one of my friends who has kids. And I say, it's not that you necessarily have to be immature or be a kid to use makeup like this, but her daughter does a lot of dance stuff, and so it might come in handy to do makeup for her dance recitals with something like this. It's just not something that I am going to be using time and time again. Next in February, we got the CoverFX Shimmer Veil, and I ended up getting it in Amethyst. Love this. Every single time I do a purple eye look, this is what I put on my lid every time. Look at that. Beautiful. I love purple shadows. I'm so glad that I got it in Amethyst and not a different color. I used the purple. I have a purple palette from Wet n Wild, and then I also have some purples in my Violet Voss hashtag palette. And so I go in with those, and then I pop this on the lid, and it's gorgeous. It stays on all day. I do have more oily eyelids, and this shadow, it doesn't crease. It stays on all day. It has that beautiful luster all day. So I am really, really enjoying this very, very much. We have the Vintage Smoky Eye Pencil. This is a wooden eye pencil. If you watched my Boxy Charm, I mean, it's kind of black, but it's supposed to be smoky, so I guess you're supposed to be able to just smoke it out. This is not necessarily the format that I like to have a black liner in. This was something that I didn't think that I was going to get any use out of it. I think the price tag on it, I'll have to maybe go back in that other video and see what it was, but the price tag on it was also ridiculous. So if you need a black pencil, I know L'Oreal does a really good black eye pencil, and I think Maybelline is the other one that has a really, really good black eye pencil at drugstore prices. The next item, I don't even know where it is because it was that ridiculous. It was that blue face glitter that they wanted to charge people like $15 for this tiny pot of blue face glitter. I said I was going to be putting it somewhere in my arts and crafts section, and that's probably where it is. It was literally bright blue, like bright blue, just glitter that you can put on your face. Pass. So that, I don't even know where it is. So we're not even going to talk about that. The last item that was in that box was this brush set from Crown. I have been enjoying this. They do wash well. This one I'll use sometimes for bronzer, sometimes for blush. It is a powder brush, they say. I like something a little bit bigger and fluffier for powder. This is a little bit more dense. So I will use this for bronzer. I will use this for blush at times. This smaller brush here, I will use this for contour to really get into that, that hollow of my cheek. This one here is kind of like a flat packing on brush. I actually really enjoy this. I use this to highlight my brow bone. And so these brushes are very nice. They wash well. They are shedding just a little bit, but I mean, I can get past that. But overall, really been enjoying this brush set. That was everything for February, so let's move on to March. And so the big item in March was the Boxy Charm and Pur Collab palette. Now, I did notice the other day that they are selling this on Ulta's website, and it has horrible reviews. Horrible. So I did a look with this whenever I did the unboxing, and then I did another look. I think I filmed another video and did another look on this palette. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. What gets me every single time I look at this is these three colors up here, how similar they are. And I mean, one is like a more glittery, let's see, so Squad, Belle, and Nakey. I mean, I guess they have different finishes, but these are basically all the same color. And I don't know what they were thinking about putting three shadows in there that are so similar when this was supposed to be like their big palette of the year or something like that. So that kind of upset me. These two like metallic shades over here, this is what everybody was complaining about really, because these are so chunky, so glittery, so hard to build up pigmentation on. I mean, with really dark swatches like that, they look beautiful, but I mean, I've even tried to do, you know, Fix Plus with them, and they weren't, you know, they weren't all that. And then I still have not done a look with this blue because that's just, it's not really me. The BFF shade, this matte like purple, is beautiful. I really do enjoy this. A lot of people were talking about how this is hard to blend. You just got to go in with a light hand and build the pigment up. You can't go in there heavy because these are super pigmented. I don't know how much this is retail on Ulta's. I'm guessing they're probably trying to sell it for upwards to $30. Do I think it's worth that? No. There's other palettes out there that are better quality than this with more color selection at drugstore or, you know, Ulta type prices, you know, $20 and below. So this actually is down in my bottom drawers. I might try it out a little bit more before I declutter it, but it is not in my top drawers anymore. So the next item was this mascara. This is the Double Decker Mascara from Butter London, and I do have this on my lashes today. This has this amazingly big fluffy wand that builds up so much volume. It's kind of like the Lash Paradise or the Better Than Sex mascara as far as what the wand looks like. It builds up really good volume. It's really nice and black. I don't necessarily think that it holds the curl as well as other mascaras, but what I love about this one is it does not transfer up onto my lids. Regardless if it is 75, 80 degrees outside, or if it's 50 degrees outside, or doesn't matter what I am doing. I've been wearing this so much over the past couple weeks, and this has not transferred up onto my lids. So if you have a horrible time with mascaras transferring, I highly recommend trying this out. I have been so pleasantly surprised with this one. Let's see, next was the South Main Eye Gel Packs, and I just have the empty box because I used these up. I did exactly what they said to do. I used them 3 nights in a row. I was very pleasantly surprised. The gel eye packs actually stuck really well underneath my eyes, where I didn't have to like lay down and stay there for 15 minutes to have them, you know, soak in and do their business. I was able to stick them on and then still walk around my house, do dishes, do things like that. I think they actually worked. So my under eyes, I should have taken pictures, y'all. Oh, but my under eyes were, I guess they were less puffy. I was using these at night. I wasn't necessarily using these in the morning before makeup, but my under eyes looked brighter. That is what got me the most with these, is that my under eyes did look brighter. Now, was the effects of these lasting? Not really. So they say use it 3 days in a row for the best results, and that's true. So on day 3 or day 4, my eyes looked amazing, my under eyes looked amazing, but on day 5, they're pretty much back to normal. So I think that you'd pretty much have to use these pretty consistently to get the warranted or the desired effects out of them. I think this was like $10–15 for 3, which isn't bad, but it's not something that I'm going to go out and repurchase time and time again. I'm just going to go ahead and work on, you know, other eye serums or other eye creams, and then just do color correcting, because, you know, a couple hours of my eyes being brightened whenever I'm going to put makeup over them, it's not really worth it to me when I have products that I can go ahead and conceal my under eyes with. What I really need to do is just start getting more sleep, but we'll see how that works out. Next item was this little brush set from Vintage Cosmetics. This one's clean because I never use it. I thought that I would use this a whole lot more, but I think I tried it one time and then I washed it, so that's why it's clean. But I used it one time and I didn't like the shape. I didn't like how it blended things out. I just wasn't a fan of the angled brush. The little smudger brush here is a little bit, I mean, it's soft, but it's a little bit too dense for what I like as far as getting underneath my under eye. So I haven't really been using this one a whole lot, but I have been using this one, and it's nice and dirty because I used it yesterday and I used it today. What I like this one for is packing my, you know, nice metallic shadows onto my lid. So that is what I've been using this for a lot. And so 1 out of 3, I mean, I'm sure I'll get use out of these at some point, but really these two I'm not really even touching, but I do really enjoy this little packing brush for packing that metallic shadow onto my lid. The last item for March was this pretty Vulgar blush. This was the one that everybody was like, holy crap, it's pigmented, go in with a soft hand. And it's absolutely true. This is super, super pigmented. I mean, it's pink like my fingers, but it is kind of crumbly, but it's pigmented. The color's beautiful. I do really enjoy this color whenever I do a pinky eye look. I enjoy putting this color on. I've actually used this as an eyeshadow, as a pinky eyeshadow with the Pur Palette, actually, to build up some more pink intensity. I use this as an eyeshadow. It kicks up a lot of powder. I do use this with my dual fiber blush brush from Sigma because I pick up less. I am losing my voice, y'all. I am able to pick up less, and I tap everything off, and then I go in with a light hand, and then I still go back in with my other stipple dual fiber brush and blend it out even more. And so you just have to be a little bit careful with this one because it is so highly pigmented, but I really do enjoy this blush. I see myself reaching for it a whole lot whenever I do my pink looks. So I think just for the actual like quality of the product, the pigmentation, the size of the pan, these are absolutely worth it if you can find a color that you really, really love. So a quick little recap, the crown brushes are pretty good. I'm more of a fan of the eye brush over the face brushes. The It Cosmetics brow pencil I really, really enjoy, even though the spoolie broke off of it. I do enjoy reaching for this. I probably reach for this about 2 times a week, which is kind of impressive because I have like 8 different brow products. And so if I'm reaching for this twice a week, then I really do enjoy having this in my brows. The Dr. Brant Pores No More primer is very, very good, and I enjoy that. I'm glad that we got such a big size of it. This is going to last forever. The Shimmer Veil from CoverFX is beautiful. Love it. Don't know if I'm going to explore with other colors because I know that like BH Cosmetics just came out with some like shimmer liquid shadows that I want to maybe try some of those out. But as far as the Amethyst shade, I really, really do enjoy that. The Double Decker Mascara is awesome. Awesome, especially for us oily eyelid girls. The South Main eye patches were really, really good, but it's not something that I'm going to repurchase time and time again. And then the Pretty Vulgar blush is also very pretty, very nice to wear. So the stack of items that I'm probably going to be getting rid of and decluttering is really their palettes. The palettes have just been a little bit disappointing. I don't know if there's like the Winky Lux palette that we ended up getting last year in a Boxy Charm is awesome. I actually wore that on my eyes the other day. The pigmentation is great. The blendability is great. They're not crumbly. So just, these have been just so lackluster. A black eyeliner, we get like a million of those. And then this liquid lipstick from Girlactick, I just don't like the formula. But the palettes have been really, really disappointed. And really, when we get our Boxy Charms, when we're paying $21 a month for them, it's because we know we're going to be getting these like palettes. That's what kind of makes it worth it. And so while the other palettes are just not either my taste or didn't work out for me, the Crown palettes are actually really, really good. It's just not my colors, not up my alley. But the Pur palettes have been so disappointing. And so it just, I'm going to continue to get my Boxy Charms because I really do enjoy them. I like that we do get higher end products. I mean, It Cosmetics, Dr. Brandt, CoverFX, Pretty Vulgar, Butter London. So it's these well-known brands that kind of have their reputation out on the line. They are the ones that are sending out the really, really good products. The more less known brands are really the ones that are kind of disappointing. So I still enjoy getting the makeup. I still enjoy getting that surprise in the mail. So I'm going to continue getting my Boxy Charms, but this is kind of the wrap up for the last 3 months. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so you guys know that you want me to keep doing them. Leave me a comment down below of the Boxy Charm items that you received. Which ones are your favorites? Which ones also didn't work out for you? Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Gunfire, y'all.